Good evening. It is Tuesday, the 3rd of September, 2024. It is 8:30 p.m. and this is 45 Day Show, episode 30. And I can't believe we've got to 30 shows already. And we've done this show today. There's been on my show quite a few times, especially this one. Adey's been on a few times. We've talked about the previous events he's done. Double P's been on as well, and we've talked about his events. But there's two mental health raid trains happening this month on Twitch. The first one is this weekend, the big weekend of part 6, and then in 2 weeks after that we have the Double P 45-day mental health raid train across 2 days with lots of great DJs, and it's both events are in aid of calm, raising awareness of mental health, but if we can, funds for calm. So we do this a lot on this Twitch platform, so I thought it'd be great to speak to them again and just find out why they're doing it, why it's still important to support it, who's got involved, and lots of that cool stuff. So here we go. AdeyP DJ.
Hey, what's up,
Double P.
Yo, guys, happy evening, happy Tuesday to you all. How are we guys doing? You cool?
Good, yeah.
Yeah, good.
We've made it to another day. Senitanika, hello there. Welcome in already.
Senitanika.
If anyone is watching over on Instagram, which we're going live, and also Mixcloud, come and join the party on Twitch. Come and join the chat. But yeah, so Adey, Double P, good friends of mine, been on the show lots. We're always about mental health. So first of all, where should we start? Should we start with you, Adey? And if people don't know what the big weekender is about, tell us a little bit about it.
Big Weekender is an event now. It's been running now for 2 years. It's 40 DJs across the world coming together to raise mental health awareness, to have a blast, to have a party, but ultimately raise some money for a very important charity here in the UK called Calm. It's a suicide prevention hotline, straight mental health advice line, gives you resources and help and people to chat to. A very vital resource here in the UK for people in mental distress. And as a result of what we've been doing over these past couple of years, we've raised a significant amount of money. So coming up this weekend, we have international DJs across the world, multi-genre. It's going to be an absolute blast starting Friday, ending Sunday. And we're going to have a good time. Going to raise some money, have a great time. And yeah, that's basically the crux of it all.
And again, if people don't know how it works, how do people get involved? If they're not a DJ or if they're not part of the event, if they want to watch it, how does it work?
Sure. Right. Okay. So you don't need to download the app to actually get involved, although we encourage people to get on the app because you can create a username and you can get involved in the chat. And one of the benefits of being in the chat is you meet new friends. You can get involved. As you can see in the chat there, you've got some emotes. It's a very interactive experience. So it's not just sitting there and listening. You can engage with people on the platform. So you can download the app. And of course, when the poster gets shown in a bit, you just need to type in the username and then you follow that person. Or you can listen on your browser and you've got a web address that you just type in with a DJ's name. Now, if you're not aware of how these things work, it's called a raid. So say, for example, I'm watching 45 Day and he does his set as an hour and a half. Once his set has finished, he will then proceed to take the viewers from his channel and then raid into the next person. So you can imagine it's like an online music festival. So you're literally jumping from one DJ to the next. You could be in Britain one day, you could be in Australia the next, you could be in America. So every hour and a half, we jump to a new DJ. So you can come in, you can follow the train, or you can pop in here and there. But we encourage people to get involved in the chat because it's a much more fun experience. But if you just want to be doing your washing and hanging out, you could just listen to it in the background.
Well, hanging out your washing.
Well, washing whatever it is you're going to be doing. We call it lurking in the Twitch world.
Yeah, lurking. It just means that you've got it on in the background, but you're busy doing other stuff and you can't be at a keyboard or typing on your phone. But you're there supporting the streamer. You're there for the chat, and it's a great thing to do. And I'm going to say hello to Twitch as well. Welcome in.
Hi, Twitch
for joining the conversation. Right, so and exactly, it's an event, isn't it? And you described it very well, because I sort of use the same sort of thing when I'm trying to explain it. I say to people like, right, you're at a festival and we're listening to one band, and then we're going to go to the next band, and you move to the next stage and the next stage, and it goes like that. But yeah, no, it's going to be good fun. Paul, you're
Yo.
also involved in organising an event. And
Yep.
I was looking at it today. I've finalised the artwork today, and I'll show it in a bit. But this is the 5th one.
Mhm.
It's crazy, isn't it? So can you remember why we did it in the first place? Why did you start that first one?
I think it was conversations you and I had for the first one, because we did a few little raid trains before, didn't we? And then it was like, okay, well, we did a chat show, and then we thought, okay, why don't we do a big raid train during COVID? And I think it was like the first one was like 54 hours. It was insane, because everyone was, shut up indoors. So I think it helped as well. It's like a big party. And obviously during lockdown, people's mental health got worse because they're stuck indoors. But then, yeah, I think it's important to raise awareness for mental health, because I've suffered from it. Age is suffering from it. A lot of people are suffering from it still. So I just think it's really important to make aware of men's mental health, because men don't talk about stuff. They keep bottling it up. There's always this big thing about, I'm a man and I'm gonna, you don't cry in public, you don't let your emotions come out, you don't show people your emotions, and it's, and this is why so many people are still committing suicide, because they just, I don't know, just you got to reach out to people, and things like this help other people. You're bringing a big audience through on the raid train, where different people from all around the world, say Jabones, for instance, he was suffering from it, and then he was saying about thanking us for doing the mental health raid train, because it made him more aware, and he talks about it now. So, if we just help one person, it's really important, I think.
Yeah, definitely. We'll come back to that in a second. But hello to a couple more people. I think we have Vitsa 2, Big Weekend of Hype. And we also have DJ OP1. I think he's going to our event in Cambridge. So if you are, I look forward to seeing you there on Saturday. But yeah, it's really important. Now, one of the things I was going to ask probably both of you, and I think you sort of touched on it, is obviously when we started this, it was during lockdown. There wasn't much else to do. People were struggling, so it was important to talk about mental health. I think it still is important, but do you guys agree that it's still as important now, even though we're the other side of lockdown and things are different? Why is it still important to be talking and getting men to talk about these issues?
I was suffering mental health before lockdown. So people, regardless of lockdown, people were still suffering then, and they still are now. And COVID would have had an impact anyway, probably more so actually. But I still suffer from it. The lady still suffers from it. I know a lot of people, like I say, I talk to at work, actually suffer from it. It's quite a common thing. I don't know. Just makes me laugh when people are already suffering from it, and it's just like, okay, why are we suffering from it, and why weren't we suffering from it before? What's the given? What's the trigger? Why now? Is it inherited from my father who suffered from it? I don't know. It's just very odd. I just don't know. I just think it's how you. I don't know. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves. I think you got social media. You've got to be a certain way. You've got to have certain things, to be successful. That's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish, man. You could have all the money in the world, man. You get an illness, you could die like that tomorrow. Don't mean nothing. Material things don't mean jack.
Yeah.
Let's have them.
Yeah, I think, he's hit on so many great points there. I think we are now starting to see the real effects of the pandemic. Now, Paul mentioned earlier regarding people's mental health is getting fragile anyway. Lots of different factors come into play. Childhood trauma that we deal with, I think, as we get older. I think a lot of the things that happen to us when we're young, we start to manifest in our lives, and they start to come into our behaviors. Now, pressures of work, family life, financial restrictions, all the stuff that come into play. But I think we are now starting to see almost it's a bit of a paradox, really, contradiction, because we're kind of connected, but we're very still disconnected. And I think the COVID pandemic really did a number on a lot of people. We're not seeing many people going to, social events as much. A lot of social anxiety has come about now as a result of this. We're normalizing the conversation. And I do not in any way want to discriminate against any females, because we all suffer in our own individual way. But Paul definitely touched upon male stereotype of it's fine. And not every day you want to be engaging into very deep conversations about what's going on. And some studies suggest that actually talking about your problems can actually deepen your problems. But having outlets and being comfortable and having safe spaces in order to be able to talk is vital. Now,
I mean, sorry, you're on about talking. I've got a circle of trust that I can talk to people. Now, there's Criztoz, there's yourself, and Mr. Musto, John Musto, and obviously my family. But you know what I mean? So there's 3 people there through the music world that I talk to that, I mean, I knew John through SDBC, but we've got really close and he's a really good mate. So I can speak to John, he'll kick me up the ass. I'll speak to Criztoz, same as you. And it's just nice to vent. You can have a problem and you can vent it. And I know who I can vent it to. And they will give me a reasonable answer. Do you know what I mean? A logical, reasonable answer that my brain can say, yeah, okay, that's good.
And I think also it's just the fact that you feel safe in order to do it, and whether or not whether they can give you an answer or solution, it's just that you're able to feel comfortable to be comfortable enough to express yourself.
Because if you didn't feel that way and have anyone around you, you're just going to keep it bottled in, aren't you? And then that's that. And that's not going to help anyone.
Yeah, and the thing is, from speaking to people at Calm, it's becoming even more apparent now. People are phoning because the one good thing about an organization like Calm, it's independent, it's anonymous. You can phone up and you don't need to give any details. So if you are phoning them up, you can literally just be anonymous. You don't have anyone that knows you, anyone who's got any background, and you can be vulnerable enough, or at least they can certainly point you in the right direction. Now, if you look about the mental health services here in the UK, it's seriously, the waiting list is just too much. A lot of people cannot afford treatment. So organizations like Calm are vital, even if, they're not going to be the solution, but they're the gateway to maybe change. And they're the gateway to certainly someone picking up the phone and doing that can stop them from doing something silly. Because I know people, and even with my family, I feel like I could talk to them, but there's certain things I can't. And just having an independent organization that can support you like that is what this is all about.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I say, if anyone's struggling to pick up the phone, isn't it really? It's good to talk about. Yeah, I mean, 100%. Don't bottle it up and talk about it. And another good point as well. I don't know if Emma's here. Sanatonica, she's in here, isn't she? Now, we were chatting the other day I can't remember whose chat it was, to the beat. Now, if we do another one of these, which we probably will, she was on about getting a few women on there as well to get their point of view across. So it might be here to get Emma and some other people with us as well, and we can talk about it because it's good to see it from their perspective as well.
Very much so.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I mean, that's the thing. It's an inclusive event. Big Weekend is a very inclusive event, and I think that's the thing. It's not predominantly about men, but it's about mental health and us being together as a community, celebrating what Twitch has brought to us through music. We notice in the chats there's a lot more openness in the events of the Big Weekend. The people just sort of, and I do it purposely. I do it on purpose. I will put questions out. So if you see in the chat, it's like you're chilling out and I start asking questions. There's a reason for that. It's because if people feel comfortable enough to answer, that's up to them. But I do pose those questions within it because that's the part of the event. Is to try and get people's perspectives, to try and get people's ideas, to people to share what they're feeling if they care to do so, Well,
definitely. And it's like you say, it's an event. Now, if we were doing this in real life, and we were, say, hiring a 10 and then getting a load of DJs in there and inviting all our friends, we'd be standing around talking to them. And obviously, in this online world, we can't do that. So we have to do it through this beauty of chat. And this is what's kept us here on Twitch, wasn't it? You know, like most people before we got involved, it was a gamers. You know, why gamers watching other gamers play it? You know, it didn't make any sense. But then obviously it's the community, and like you say, it's don't just come for the music, don't just come for the streamer, come for the community, come for the vibe, come for all the people that we've attracted from all our channels put together that are on this train on this particular day. And because it's an open train, we're talking about mental health, and that's the whole point, isn't it? You know, you've got however many people through the averages or whatever it's going to be, but it just needs one person to get affected and have an impact, and it's worth doing, isn't it?
I had just a note. Someone, I'm not going to mention a name, but they mentioned quite a few times that whispers and messages saying about people being vulnerable. I remember Paul on his stream, I think it was the second big weekend or the first big weekend, and how his vulnerability and openness on there, getting messages like, thank you. And they were very grateful for that, because you don't know, out of 30, 40, 50 people listening, it could be 2 or 3 having a really bad time that are listening to this and understanding that as a community we're part of this. That really does make a difference. So you don't know until you try who it might potentially save. And it's better to try and do something and be positive about it than do nothing at all. And it's not a self-serving event as well. It's a very much a community event, which I think really does celebrate the joys of what we have here on Twitch.
And I think it's great that we've always supported jointly Calm. You know, it's a great charity, and it's been all the way through, hasn't it, with Double P, and even before that when we were doing Sunday Sevens, and obviously now it's the one we sort of focus on. And even like I've got it on my charity thing on my Twitch stream. You know, we hit like 450 quid over the course of whatever 3, 4, 5 months, however long it takes. But it's amazing that if nothing else, people see that there is an organization out there, and they might not have heard of Calm before. When they suddenly hear of Calm, they hear people talking about it, and they think, actually, that's useful for me, or it's useful for my brother, my dad, my mum, my sister, whoever. So that's a small part of it as well, isn't it? Bringing awareness of the fact that there's this community out there.
I just think it's brilliant. I think also I've encouraged all the international DJs, and if there's any in the chat or anything, to put your own local charities in there, because obviously this is a UK-based charity, but it's a mental health is a universal issue. So any DJs or anyone that's just going to be a listener in the event, please do put your local charities, helplines, resource websites, anything else like that in the chat. I'd encourage you to do that, basically.
Yeah, and go and have a look. You know, if you're on Twitch, you can turn charity on, and basically you can go through and you can type in, it can be any charity. You know, a lot of charities connected, but if there is a specific one that is related to the US, France, Germany, Australia, whoever, then add it in. I'm going to say hello to a couple more people. And who else have we got in here since we last did it? We've got Rodrigo Rockmore is here. Hello. We got Binge. We got Shoestring Sound. We have got To the Beat. DJ D1. Seni Tonika as well. Right. Let's read some comments. Obviously, Seni Tonika, a very important one. Don't forget, everyone, 911 responds now to mental health issues as well as physical health issues. So yeah, if that's in a country that affects you, then that's something to know. I'm not sure. I don't know if what 999 does. Do they put through to Samaritans? What anyone had an experience of calling 999 for mental health issues?
I think what Lynette was saying there is the police get more involved with mental health people in that cases where the mental health services can't cope with mental health patients. So they have to go out and arrest them and bring them back in for own safety. You know, there was one on Monday morning, Escort Road. No, not Escort Road, by Long Leven somewhere. But anyway, the road was shut, and the guy was on the bridge going to jump, but he didn't, thankfully. So and there was a woman was going to jump off the hospital, Gloucester Royal Hospital, and she talked her down. So yeah. It's quite, you know, people run the police down, but you know, who are you going to call when you're in trouble?
Yeah,
not the Ghostbusters.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. ADHD confirms that If you call 999, it does as well. And I think there was another comment. Just bear with me 1 second. Yes, Mr. Musto. He popped in earlier on. He was on deep lurk mode. So he was there, but
Use the washing. Or
the other point that Senator Nika makes is men don't talk as easily as women do, to be fair. And I think we've already sort of touched on that, and that is very true, isn't it? You know. Right. Let's look at the events. So, Adey's, yours is coming up first. So, you went about this a little bit differently in terms of booking, and you used RaidPal. So, talk us through that process.
Sure. Now, normally I curate the events based upon a idea of like the mixtape methodology, I call it. So therefore, each DJ flows into the next. I've always had a mindset of including all of the collectives on Twitch, which we don't normally get. You get open genres, so to speak, open formats, but we've got the GFF, we've got Next Round, we've got 45 Day Crew, we've got loads of different people coming in. And I normally curate them based upon style and how their vibe is. But I wanted to do something different. This is the 6th one. I said to my son, I want to try and do something different. And I want to randomize things. I want to bring new DJs in. I want to give people that haven't had the opportunity to play before and open things up. So RaidPal, if no one's aware of it, it's like essentially an open schedule. So you invite people to come in and they pick their slots. So they pick their slots based upon their availability. So it's a shame because obviously there's going to be a lot of people that aren't able to play because maybe the time that they're available, there's not a slot. So I've kept things open. So what you're going to see is a lot more different things. So say, for example, you've got a funk-based DJ. You might get a drum and bass guy after. You're going to get a lot more mix mash. I mean, it has kind of worked out a little bit. If I was to describe it, it's kind of like there's a lot of different similar styles, but every now and again you've got very different styles. We've got a lot of young a new 14-year-old Davidson called DJ CJ who's making his debut. Of course you've got Arlo, loads of people, international people from the 45 Day Crew that I've never been in the event. So it'll be I'm really excited to see everyone play. I'm really grateful for everyone giving up their time for this event. So that's been my idea, to try and freshen things up. And I think subconsciously you go to some people that you already know and you kind of have relationships with. So it's been good to keep it open, to make it open, to bring all this fresh blood in. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Right. Tanika is looking forward to this. Right.
Yes.
Let's have a look then. So day one. So this is Friday.
Yeah, day one. See, okay,
through the lineup.
All right, so I kick things off at 9 o'clock. There's still BST Mind, Mark Lancaster. I know he's regular in the 45 Crew. Becky Safe, drum bass DJ Talatrez. I mean, we're looking at this now. Look at these from the surface. If you don't know them, eclectic bunch of DJs, incredible, and everyone brings their A game to this. I don't know what it is. It's just like it's different from raid events. I've been involved with raid events for ages, and there's so many good ones, but this just brings people's A game out. And I'm looking at that now, and we've got a complete mix match of people, and they're all quality. So super excited about this. We've got regulars like DJ OP1, the mouse over to the beat. Regulars are on the train. Big up to them.
I can see, Funky Flavors, one of
Funky Flavors as well.
DJ
Fresh Fruit. I don't know if you heard of him. He's from Holland.
I don't know. See, that's the thing. I like these because there's always people on there. So on that list, it's just
he's one of these DJs that don't get many viewers. This is the great thing about some of these things. They don't get many viewers, and I go into his streams quite often, and he's a good selector. He's got a good idea of what he wants to play, and he's a really top DJ with loads of great tunes. And of course, you know, the Mace outfit, big outfit from Manchester. Becky Steve is a huge streamer on Twitch as well. So real mix of DJs there.
Right, let's move on to day 2, Saturday the 7th.
Oh yeah, so this is cool because again we've got some big weekend of regulars like Funky Nicky, E-Time's coming back, Canadian Breaking, Lord Keanu on the next one, Beat Binge, another great DJ from the UK, and as we say, we've got DJ CJ there. He's following Diligent Fingers. Now you look at those two together, completely different crews, and completely different stars, but DJ CJ is going to benefit from getting new viewers. you know. So this is another opportunity for the smaller streamers to gain new fans and new people in their streams, you know. Luke Skywalker DMB, and he's a turntable champion. I don't know if anybody even knows about this guy, but he's actually a turntable champion, incredible DJ, drum and bass, multi-genre. And we're lucky to have him involved as well. And DJ Arlo, of course, everybody knows. And some guy called AdeyP. Hey.
But again, it's like you said, it's each of the people have got different crews, and it's the same for every channel has got its own community, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what we're doing is moving these communities through the train to different countries, different streamers, and we hope, and I think it does sort of show how good this train is, because a lot of the time there is people who are still there from the beginning or early on, and then you see them, and then you see them again later on. So I think people do stick around, because most raid trains, I think, you know, the community sort of come in, they maybe stick around for a little bit, and then people sort of flake off and go for it. I think with this, hopefully, and I've seen it before, people follow through and stay.
They believe in the event. They generally believe in the event, and this is the thing. From speaking to them, they're, you know, I've got to be honest. Not everyone's been behind it. Sometimes, when I say behind it, they played their sets, but they haven't done much else. Sometimes, but that's cool, because I'm really grateful for them getting on board. But these people, they really want to get on board. They really want to show their support. And it is great that you get new crews in, because, you know, whether we like it or not, the raid trains can be a little bit kind of, oh, you know, we go to the same group because they got a lot of viewers and they're going to gain a lot of viewers, and it becomes about numbers and all this other stuff, which is great. It's great for the train, but it does eliminate and discriminate against some of the smaller streamers, because they're thinking, oh, he's only got 10 viewers, so we're not going to invite him, which I think is a shame. So I've always kept a very open mind when it comes to things like that. You know,
you have to invite people, and it's the whole point of what we do, isn't it? And putting on raid trains and getting people involved in shows like Coffee and Donuts, and, you know, it's what we've done from the beginning. Get people involved. People want to stream, right? Okay, go out, get this camera, get this whatever powered hub, get this, that, and the other. Get yourself streaming. Get yourself a channel. Get out there, because we want all these people to encourage and then to build, because then those communities build themselves, and then they come back, and it's sharing the love, isn't it? That's the whole point of all of this.
Well, someone like you, 45 Day, I mean, who does some incredible events, hardest working man on Twitch, to be honest, you completely buy into that, which is why we love you. Yeah, but, you know, it's not always the case. There's some really great raid trains out there, but it's certainly, it sounds really pretentious, but it's the raid event for the people, for everybody. There's no discrimination against this. It's not whether based upon your popularity. It's based upon your ability to get involved in and have a good time, because, you know, I'm not the greatest DJ in the world, but, you know, it's like, it's all about your effort and putting yourself out there and being part of something, you know.
Yeah, we got a few comments in the post, in the chat. Senator Nika, looking forward to this. Love Loopy, you mentioned E-Town as well. Vitsa 2, looking forward to all the different styles and DJs. AD looks promising, and it's a great event to encourage smaller streamers. And we've got some more people. We've got Frankie B as well. Welcome in. He's organizing, and maybe we need to get you on as well, Frankie B, and have a chat about your special charity event that's coming up. I think myself and Double P, you're playing as well, aren't you? I think.
Yeah.
We beat Frankie.
One. That's yeah. So Frankie, remind me, send me a whisper, and we'll chat soon. And Senator Nika is saying new music and new streams are always interesting. Binge is saying his first train and his fave to play. Big up AdeyP, found so many wicked DJs through it too. And Senator Nika met amazing DJs at your last event. So yeah, it's again introducing DJs to a bigger crowd, hopefully. You know, and that's the whole point. Right, we'll do day 3, and then we'll come back to you, Double P.
Okay, so again, we've got
recognize a name or two on there.
Yeah, we got some favorites on there. In terms of big weekend regulars, I should say. Ethan Dub, Dustin Timbersnake, another one of these guys from Portland. No, I think he's Portland, Oregon, anyway, it doesn't matter. He's one of these just amazing DJ. He's very visual, and he's just plays some very eclectic music. Brilliant. Shoestring Sounds in there as well. Fat Wax 45, Slim Gets Rad, Butchie B. I'm seeing a lot of 45 Day influences on this, which is 45 crew.
Oh, it looks like a 45-day raid train.
It does, doesn't it? You know, you could Job Bones as well. Someone called 45 Day on there as well.
Yeah.
Someone called Double P. I suppose he's all right. Yeah, we've got a legend following Candyman, which would be brilliant. And Dal Platinum, who normally does like the morning set, he's doing like an evening set, so we move things around. So, you know, when I mentioned about having different DJs for different styles and days, from knowing those DJs, that works perfectly for a Sunday. I think it's in the stars. It's just worked out really, really nicely. So big up to every single one of you DJs giving your time up. I'm super grateful. So thanks.
And here they all are.
Yay.
And here they all are. Yeah.
Wicked. Thank you.
Amazing lineup. Yeah, great. Right, Double P. So it was only when I started making the flyer, I was like, this is number 5 that we've done. I was looking at the dates. I think we did 2 the first year. I think it was May and then August, I think in 21. And then I think we did 1 in 22 and then 1 in 23. So yeah, number 5. So again, why is it important for you to put these on?
Like I say, it's to make awareness of mental health. And it's another great thing to get everyone together and, you know, have a party in some ways.
Well,
enjoy.
Yeah, go on.
Enjoy it, and I always say that the people that want to play put their names down and they're going to give their time up for this cause, and it's really appreciated. But we can have a celebration and you know, raise money for a good charity. So yeah, that's really important. And you know, people will talk about stuff online when we're playing, as they do. They open up.
Yeah, and it's great because it's sort of fitted in with, you said to me that you wanted to play on show 169 of Coffee and Donuts, and so we worked out that was the 21st of September, and then we worked out that was going to be the 4-year anniversary of Coffee and Donuts. So show 169, 4 years of Coffee and Donuts, and then the mental health raid train. It's sort of, again, what were you saying, Adey? It's in the stars.
Written in the stars.
Yeah, it's really, these things just come together.
Can I ask you why 169 Double P?
Because I got 69 at the end of my love and I, and it's just, you know, I know it's 69 mile an hour, you know, and that sort of thing, and the 69 comes from Hooligan 69 from the Ragga Twins. That's where it comes from, not the other one. You perceive it. If you want to perceive it that way, then you crack on. I don't care.
When I first saw your name, I was like, yeah, okay.
But that's the reason why. And you know, it was when I first started Twitch, it was DJ Double P, and that name's taken. I was like, for God's sake, all right, what am I going to choose?
Had a 69 to the end of it.
Yeah. And that's where it came from.
And also, however, we have to say, talking about funny moments, there has been a couple of times where people have raided DJ Double P.
Yeah.
DJ Double P 69. So that guy, whoever it is, has got some raids occasionally.
Well, it's a bit like John Musto with his knitting channel raid, wasn't it, back in the day? I don't know if he's still in the chat. That was funny.
That was funny. Because it, like you say, it's a party, because it's not just obviously 4 years of Coffee and Donuts. It's not just Mental Health Raid Train number 5. It's also like Take 5, which is a jazz show, is he's celebrating 1 year, and it's also the 45th episode of Part of My Journey, a mental health talk show, which both of you have been on. So again, it just all sort of comes together. So to like make one big thing. So here's the flyer, hot off the press. I finished this today. I might tweak it a little bit, but I think it's there.
That looks sick. I'm on this, and I picked Double P. I think I'm on.
You're on there.
Yeah. Remember, it's my birthday on the 20th. It's my birthday on the 23rd as well. Boom.
Yeah, I think you are on it, Adey. But yeah, so Coffee and Donuts. So it's the 4th anniversary show, 169. And so we're kicking it off with Josie Styles in Australia, doing a 2-hour set, and she's been opening the show quite a lot, as has Decal. So we're definitely going to have one of them. Unfortunately, Dave's not streaming at the moment. Then myself, then my co-host Fat Wax, and then we got Tea Cake, who is Fat Wax's other half and best 80s 45s DJ 2 years in a row. And then we got Double P. Have you worked out your set for this one yet, Double P?
I'll play a boogie funk set because I'm going into Slansky, so I'll do that.
Right. So then Svalansky, and then we've got Cut Class, and then his other half, DJ Constance K, and then we've got the Sunken Fold, who's only recently just started streaming. I think. Do you know a Double P? I think.
Yeah, she's in Gloucester, so she does a lot of venues at Cafe Rennie. So myself, well, Faye played with Molly and John about 3-4 weeks ago, and Faye said to me, "You need to get down there." So I got down there to support them, and they've asked me to play. I think it's the same weekend on Saturday night. I'm sure of it.
Awesome.
She hasn't come back yet, but yeah. So she's really good, Claire. So AdeyP, Claire AdeyP, her name is. So yeah, she's good. She did really well last night.
Yeah, again, it's coming back to what Adey was saying. You know, getting new streamers involved. So I think she's played for Coffee and Donuts last week, I think, and then I think she did 45 fights. So she's done hardly any streams. But we're like, yeah, definitely. You know, you're part of the community. Let's do that. And it's all about inclusive and men, women, and also 45 kids. You know, that's what it's all about. And then we go into the Saturday. There you go, Adey. You're there.
Oh yeah. Boom. 8 o'clock. Wicked.
Yeah. So again, we did it. There's a few people that we had to lock certain slots for, but then otherwise it was just open on RatePal, wasn't it? Double P. We just sort of you sent it out to a few people. I sent it out, and then we just got it. And again, it's interesting to see who's signed up. It's great.
Good things.
And we got again. So we got UK, we got America, we got Brazil, France,
Carrie, we got Seeps, Roger PTR, DJ Exa Homie from Brazil.
Yeah, Chico Holmes in Brazil, yeah. And then we got day 3, day 2, the Sunday. So we got Overtone Big Rig, Jordan Russell, Sim Gets Rad, Josie Styles, again standing in for Dave and D, who couldn't play. Then back to you, Double P, then me, and then we've got the Take Vibe 1-year anniversary. It's a jazz show. They've been doing it for a year. So yeah, that's going to be fun. And then the final straight, Shoestring Sound, DJ Yamsha, Arlo, Freddie J. So we've got 3 French DJs there, Mr. Salt, Chris Wheatley, then myself, doing Part of My Journey, episode 45, with my special guest, Sam Tweaks.
Cool.
Great lineup, man. Amazing.
So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And yeah, again, celebrating calm, raising awareness of calm. So yeah. So last thoughts then. So Adey, last thoughts. What can people do if perhaps they can't tune in? Is there any other way they can support? Do you want people to be spreading the word on social media, things like that?
It doesn't take much just to share it out, because I got this idea. If you see the poster and you put it on my stories, follow either myself, 45 Day, or any of the DJs in the chat, share it, because more eyes equals potentially more viewers equals more donations equals potentially more lives being saved. So it doesn't take anything to click and like. The algorithms like that sort of thing.
They also like, sorry to interrupt, they also like shares. So you know, if you're on Instagram and you see it, you can click the sort of little paper plane thing and you can add to your story, and you can literally just put it on your story, and that's it. You don't even have to do anything. If you want to add some, like, you know, animations or stuff, you can, but again, that helps because it tells Instagram that people are sharing what you're doing, and then it just spreads it a little bit. So if anyone can do that as well, go for it.
And also, you know, it's all one of these things which just trust the event, because you know, for example, if you're on Twitch and you normally go see normal people, fine, cool that, but go in there and just go, okay, I see the flyer, let's go check this out, you know, and be inquisitive about it, and come and maybe just give the event your attention for the weekend. You never know who you might find. So if you find yourself on Twitch, you know, just pop in, you know, and say hello, and if not, just sit and lurk, because it all helps. You know, you might not think it does, but it helps as well with the DJs that are listening, who've got people in. It's not, we want to raise awareness, raise funds and stuff, but also we want to have a good time. And if you feel that way inclined, get involved in the chat, throw your remotes up, have a bubble, and let's have a party. You know, life is short. Look at Fat Man Screw. Sorry,
Right,
bring it up. He was
Crazy.
chilling. He's chilling, and then next minute he's killed over. And I don't want to bring on a downer, but that's the reality of life, guys. You never know. So let's just have fun and, you know, have a really positive weekend, being there for each other and having a bubble, listen to great music and raise some fucking cash.
Yeah. Agree with that, mate. It's a party. Let's enjoy it. Let's celebrate life. You know, we've got to celebrate life. And music is the answer, man. That's what I say.
Absolutely, Paul. Absolutely.
So Paul, how's it, you know, briefly, how's it helped you then? Obviously music is the answer. I know you know, you have your ups and downs, and sometimes you're like thinking about giving it all up, and then other times you're back on it and really enjoying it. So, you know, why is it so important in your life?
Well, I think music is important anyway, because, you know, it makes you feel good, and certain music I play makes the hairs on my arm stand up. So I know it's good music. And I also think, like, jumping in people's chats and saying hello, like if Adey's playing or you're playing or Batwax or John or, you know, Shoestring Gal. Yeah, I can't stop for long because I'm obviously doing other things now, but I try and get in as much as I can to say hello. Just because when you're streaming, the worst thing I think that can happen, I know there's a lot of lurkers out there, is when the chat just dies. And for people with, and this is no excuse for it, but people with, like, have got self-doubt or self-esteem issues or whatever, and they're DJing because they're enjoying it. When the chat stops, you kind of question yourself. You then start the left bad devil on your shoulders going, "You're shit, mate. You're not. You're trying to. You're playing, like, in my head, bloody bangers, and nothing's happening. And you're thinking, okay, what do I do?
Did I do something wrong? Yeah. Did I say? Yeah. I mean, Paul's
Yeah,
got.
but that's just part of DJing, isn't it? I mean, that can happen to you in a real life situation.
I get that.
You play something, and then suddenly the dance floor clears, and you're like, "Shit, what do I do now?"
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate that. But what I'm trying to say is, for somebody that's got mental health issues, that's where their brain goes. Do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily the right way to go, but it does veer off. And then sometimes I think, you know, I don't know if I want to keep doing this anymore. But I won't never stop it.
The brain of a creative is a very sensitive thing, you know, and ultimately we are in craving of validation. It's okay. It's not because we're weak. It doesn't mean that we're, like, not capable, but it's nice. We want to please, and we are there. And it's like, we appreciate people. Look, we're not. I think what Paul might be getting at as well, we're not demanding anything, but it's just nice when people throw it up. We know that, you know, people can't stay, but when you just say hi, and it's just really, it gives you that extra 1%. And when you're DJing, you want to give the best performance you can get. Yeah. And if you're able, let's make it clear, if you're able and willing, just throw a hi in there and go, hey, how you doing? And you can go back to you doing what you're doing. But that just boosts you a little bit, and it gives you that extra 5%.
It just shows that for that moment in time, they're concentrating and they're there for you. You know, for that moment in time, hi, how you doing? I've got to lurk, see you later. You know that few seconds, they're there for you. And if 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 people do that, 100 people, it's just that little boost, isn't it? And it's just like, I want to carry on. I want to keep doing this.
You always get I always find I play better when the chat's moving and everybody, you can see the fire emotes, and it gives you that lift, you know. And you know, I'll swap my set over. I've got 45s everywhere, like Criztoz had. But, you know, it's just, I don't know. For me, that's.
It's also great. The mods as well. Mods do play an important role, and big up to the mods, because I think they can, you know, get lost a little bit sometimes with what they actually contribute towards the chat. And big up to all the mods in the chat, because they really do make a difference. And whether you're just chatting people out and you're saying hi to people, you know, I make a personal, you know, I barely sleep on the big weekend, and you notice by Sunday I've gone a little bit delirious, because I think I make it my mission when I'm in there to really get chats going and to really promote just the art, the DJ and everything, and say hi to everyone and show my appreciation, because it means a lot to me. It does. I mean, it's not for me, it's personal, and I want everyone to feel welcome and to add momentum to the event. So if you do see me doing my favorite Bob Geldof impression, please don't get annoyed at me, because by the Sunday I get a little bit self-conscious that I'm asking donations. I appreciate not everyone can do it, but I'm doing it for the right reasons. So if by Sunday you're thinking, hang on a minute, he's still going on, I'm doing it because it saves.
Yeah, but it's going on for the entirety.
Well, therefore, that's why we're all doing it, for that reason.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like, right, the event starts here, the event ends here. During this time, we're going to be asking you for donations.
Yeah, I feel though I do get self-conscious by the end, but I don't really care, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I don't want to piss people off. But at the same time, I'm just being truthful with people. Is going, because again, this is what this is all about, being truthful. Is that it comes from the heart. All I want is everyone to have a good time. And if you can donate, even if it's a couple of pounds, it does go a long way. So please just forgive me in advance.
It's the Calm rate train to raise money for Calm. So you are going to do what you're going to do.
You know, so at the end of the day,
you are passionate about what you do, so you're going to do what you do, and that's it. You know, every hour and a half DJ set, you're going to get different people in there. So invariably, you're going to be saying it to different people. I don't know, but
I'm on it. I start then going on about, do you know what, guys? The price of olive oil nowadays, do you know it costs £6? You know, you go into Tesco's now, you buy some cheese, it's £5. Do you really need to buy that cheese this weekend? How about thinking about donating? You know, like, I start being creative with it all. Like, instead of just putting SO donation, I have to kind of make, you know,
really want to buy for 15 quid.
Whilst you're in Waitrose, whilst you're in Waitrose buying your overpriced whatever olive oil, think about the lives you could be saving with that. All right.
But again, it's putting it in perspective, isn't it? You know, and you know, stuff like that has to be said sometimes in that way to get it to sort of stick. You know, just saying, "Oh, donate," but you know, you saying one of those cool little stories makes people think about it. Right, last thing. Go on.
Sorry, Criztoz. One big major point. If it wasn't for me getting help for my depression, I wouldn't be here now, because I was on a bridge going to jump, and that is the truth. So if you want to put it into perspective, this is me being here because I've sought help and I got help.
Amen.
And I'm still. So, you know, if you can donate, like Adey said, you can donate. If you can't afford it, it's understandable because of the cost of living. People are struggling, and when we got the Labour government in charge, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, enough of that one. But what I'm saying is Calm is for a charity to save people, and I'm one of the examples. If I wasn't here, we wouldn't be here having this conversation. I wouldn't know any. I wouldn't be streaming. I would be doing jack. I'd be 6 foot under. That is reality, and that is. So yeah, I you know, so.
And we're like super glad that you're here, mate. We're super glad. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, and I think like you say, you know, you know, you're one person who can come on here and say that, and sort of say this has been an effect. You know, we don't know how many people are in that same boat and might just be viewers. There might be people who've never even really signed up for Twitch, or there may sort of be people, you know, so every time we're talking about it, hopefully it's going to help someone. So
definitely.
Amen. Thank you, Double P. Right, last thing. Obviously, the last sort of month or so has been a little bit tricky with the new sort of DJ program coming in, and I think there was a lot of issues before it came in, and a lot of us were quite sort of concerned as to how it would impact on us. But so far so good. Adey, how have you been finding the new DJ program?
I had my first strike, my first email last night, because I was I do a show Rock and Raid, which is a real what's the right word? Essentially, you always play classic stuff. So the rest of my sets I haven't had any problems, but with that one, it's like a minefield. And I played a Muse track, and I got an email, but it wasn't too bad. They were just saying that they detected a track. I think they're going to be essentially monitoring it for the first few months and just see what happens. But so far, no issues at all. I think I might have gained some new. I think the positive thing is I might gain some new viewers out of it, because it's the DJ category, and I think I've seen some people come as a result, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you sort of my experience in a minute. Double P, how have you found it so far?
Yeah, it's been fine. I've had no strikes because I play most of the edits, so. But I'm very. You can check on the ban list anyway, and to be honest with you, what's on there I don't play anyway, so it doesn't affect me. But I will be checking, obviously, because it'll change or it might get better. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there does seem to be an increase of traffic. Certainly, we've noticed it on Coffee and Donuts, because obviously that's a weekly show, and we can sort of get a rough idea of how numbers are going up. But yeah, the numbers seem to be going up. I don't know if that's because we're starting a little bit earlier in America, but I think people are finding it and then sort of hanging around for a little bit and then moving on. It's just a new entertainment that Twitch has put on now, and I guess people who are on Twitch are now discovering there's this DJ thing, and they might think, right, instead of going to the radio, let's stick a Twitch DJ on and see what's happened. So I think at the moment it seems to be going pretty well. I think hopefully it'll get bigger. We've had DJs like Sam on the front page, getting ridiculously like amazing stats of like 3,000 viewers, over 3,500 viewers at one point, as a result of being on that front page, which is amazing. So I mean, that's only going to increase, I imagine. So we shall see.
I think the ones with bigger viewers, I think what they tend to see within the DJ category, because I know a few streamers who had average 70, 80, and now getting 200. Because I think when, naturally, I think when they see, oh, this person's got 60, 70 viewers in there, they go, oh, this seems good, and they jump on. That's my experience from speaking to other DJs there. So hopefully for this weekend, we can get some new, fresh people in. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Hopefully, and it's going to be ongoing. So hopefully people will jump on the train, stay on it for a little bit, and then see where we go, or then come back to it. Because that's the other thing. If you can't stick with it the whole time through, go and do whatever, and then come back. And I think the other thing, we haven't mentioned it yet, but for both of our raid trains, if you happen to be streaming this weekend, and obviously the weekend that we're doing Double P, and you don't have a raid to go to, you're not on a raid train or anything like that, then please think about bringing your crew through to whoever's live during the weekend, because that's another great way of supporting.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Excellent. And thanks, Criztoz, for your continued support on this sort of things, because it really does make a difference. We've got a certain amount of people here. You're bringing it, and respect to you.
Yeah. It's good to talk. And like Double P said, if we weren't doing this stuff, if we weren't talking about it, things might be very different.
Mm-hmm.
But let me just set the raid.
Nice one, Paul.
We're going to go to France and sort of see our man DJ B. But let me just make sure. Yeah, that's set. But thank you so much for being here. AdeyP, good luck with it this weekend.
Thank you.
I'm around Friday, Saturday morning. I'm not around most of Saturday because we've got an event in Cambridge. But then I'll be back on Sunday, and obviously looking forward to working out.
Big up Binge, big up Senatonica, big up this Twitch Witch, big up everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for your comments as well. Positive guys. Big up Mr. Musto. Thank you. Big up your chest.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for being on AdeyP's raid train. Thank you everyone who's going to be on the Double P one. Everyone who's supported us, everyone who's viewed, and we're going to have a great time and hopefully raise some money. But take it easy, guys. If you just hang on there for a sec, just say goodbye. Let's get the raid going.
Cheers, Vicha.
Okay, I think the raid has gone.